Hi, my name is Kevin Karstedt. I'm with Karstedt Partners. Karstedt Partners is in the process of developing and writing a research report for our friends at PRIMIR. The research report is on the coatings market in North America and how it is being applied, the chemistries, all those types of things. I am traveling on the road this week, and I received a request from my friends at PRIMIR to put together a short video, kind of promoting the research report and inviting you to the summer meeting in Denver. Unfortunately, I'm traveling. I'm away from my desk. I did bring my computer, so I am lucky there. I don't have all the tools and all my props and everything that I could normally use for putting a presentation together. So I kind of came up with an idea to show you where I am. I'm actually in beautiful High Point, North Carolina, the furniture capital of the world. So what better way to present to you from that venue than to do it in front of some very, very beautiful furniture. The major question that this presentation or this research report is going to do, and thus the presentation to discuss, is as printing of all kinds changes, is there an opportunity, and where is the opportunity for PRIMIR members? That's the overreaching thing. And then, if there is opportunity, where and how can PRIMIR members take advantage and leverage those opportunities? So that's kind of the overreaching part of the study. The study will break into three major buckets, the three major printing types: commercial print, packaging, and labels. Again, without a whole lot of props, just things I have laying around the house here. Commercial print would include wide format, would include catalogs, would include magazines, brochures, all those types of things. Just an example that just jumped out at me, or it jumped out at my nose, for example, in this particular piece is the smell-o-vision that came across. Kind of reminds me, and if you could smell it, here, I don't know if you can smell it, but if you could smell it, it smells kind of like a locker room after the homecoming game, before the homecoming dance. You know, everybody's putting on the things, but it actually smells better than what the locker room would smell like after a normal game. Okay, so just to kind of keep that part together. Also, direct mail, those types of things, and in that are included in that section, in the commercial print section. In the packaging section, folding cartons, flexible packaging, corrugated, that type of thing will be included. I don't have an example of corrugated, but a good example of corrugated. But I do have a corrugated box as my little prop would go. And on the label side, different types of labels. This happening to be the shrink label, but wet glue applied labels and pressure sensitive labels will be included in the label sector. We'll talk about the various chemistries involved. UV cured, EB cured, that type of thing, aqueous chemistries, and solvent-based chemistries. We'll talk about how and where they're applied, whether they're applied at the mill, whether they're applied at the post-print or pre-print at the printing facility, the converter or the commercial printer. And we'll talk about the various different types of coatings, whether they're for an aesthetic use. I would consider this smell-o-vision here an aesthetic use for the packaging, or for the printing rather. And on the packaging side, whether it's functional, this particular one allowing the product to go from the box itself to the microwave to the table, all in one type of thing, and coatings were used to enable that part to happen. So that concept. We're also going to introduce the concept of value versus volume. Is it and this is where the digital components all fit into it. Is it making the product stand off the shelf? Are we doing hundreds or fews of thousands or whatever, or are we doing on the volume side? Are we doing hundreds of millions of impressions and trying to make it look good and stand off the shelf and using it in conventional fashion? So we'll talk a little bit about the value versus volume and where that kind of plays into it. Again, the overarching thing. Is there an opportunity for PRIMIR members? And if so, where is it? And how do they attack it? So this is the major premise for the. If I piqued your interest at all, I invite you to log on to the PRIMIR site and to register and come to the PRIMIR Summer Meeting in Denver, Colorado, June 22nd to 24th this year. So if, again, if your interest was piqued, if you want to find out how to do this a little bit more, I think I'll be there, and we can take an opportunity to talk a little bit about this and find out about it. So I invite you to join us in Denver, and thank you again for the opportunity to serve. Take care.